Sometimes you're just driving, minding your own business, when out of nowhere, that happens. Where did he come from? Let's try to find that out, shall we? But let's start at the beginning. And with that, welcome back to HD Racing. Thank you all so much for leaving your feedback on my latest and first in a long while videos on Assetto Corsa Competizione, or ACC. I really appreciate your feedback. And I was really happy to see that a lot of you seem to be interested in seeing more of this game. So, here we go. I decided to hop into multiplayer for the first time in a long while, so let's see how this goes. I am on LFM, which I'm gonna talk about a little bit later what that is, as we're getting started right here. So start procedure in multiplayer, you have to hold your speed in your position until the lights go green and then you're off. And, well, the start phase is always very difficult because there's cars around you and people in front of you are gonna brake earlier, behind you maybe later, they are gonna dive, so you really need to be careful and aware. And the radar, which you can see in the middle of the screen below the mirror, really does help. But I also, as you can maybe hear, have a spotter, which is part of Crew Chief, an external application, which for me is really helpful to know when there are cars beside me, because it's way more accurate than the in-game spotter. So I use that most of the time. Braking here for bus stop, I thought I was slow enough, but it seemed like the BMW really slowed down quite a lot. So let's take a look from the replay perspective again, what was going on here. And you can see the BMW slowing down so much that the cars in front of him really pull away. So I think he overslowed here, and I didn't really expect that, so I did ram into the back of him, which was unfortunate. But luckily nothing happened to either of us or anyone else. I just lost a couple of positions. He still is going in front of me a couple of places, so from all the incidents that can happen, this is like the best outcome. Just a little bit of damage and a couple of positions lost for me. I don't think it was really my fault, but then again, I was behind him, so yeah, it just happens in multiplayer. So we just keep going and try to get some positions back. And, well, driving quite close behind the Lambo in front, I was really braking quite early here to, well, not ram into the back of him, because I didn't know when he would have to brake, because he also had cars in front of him. So yeah, the first lap on a multiplayer race with a lobby like this, it's only 25 cars, but that's already quite enough for a track like this, especially when the field is kind of stacked, or at least kind of similar in terms of pace. The pace difference is there, but where I'm racing, there is at least some measures in place to actually get the field as close as possible in terms of skill. So while we're trying to catch up and maybe even overtake, let me talk about what this platform is that I'm talking about here. As I said in the beginning, I'm racing at LFM, which is Low Fuel Motorsport. This is a platform for ACC and some other games that, well, is basically a hub for online races where you can hop in like at least every hour, I think even more often if you are wanting to maybe race at other places. By the way, you can see here some people not taking bus stop correctly, and I managed to overtake 2 people here, and there's a lot of carnage going on behind. I saw someone spinning in the rearview mirror. But yeah, made up a couple of positions, which is nice. But yeah, on Low Fuel Motorsport there are races all the time, and well, the process of signing up is a little bit more involved than just public lobbies, but that also means that you will have a proper way to get into this one. You do have to do a license test. It's not complicated, but it's something that you have to do, and you then also from these races get a safety rating and a skill rating basically. And well, those are then used to determine where you start, and this is split 1. So if there are more people than a particular race split will take, then well, they are split, as the name suggests. And I, for some reason, was put into split 1, which I was kind of afraid of. My rating isn't even all that great, but it seems like it's high enough so that I'm still kind of able to compete. You could see from where I started, qualifying did go okay, but not amazing. And well, here you can, by the way, see if you want to go for an attack, you should probably commit more or just let it be, because now I was just braking on the inside, taking a bad line and losing out, already down 0.3, which you can by the way see in the top left, which is also an amazing thing that this game has out of the box. Well, you can always see your delta, which is not only like in certain places like on Forza Motorsport. I know you can do some stuff with external tools, but it's quite the hassle, so I don't do it. So yeah, in this one I think quite nice. And you can see here the Lambo having a little bit of trouble in the long right-hander. And I managed to get on his outside for the next turn, but it's kind of difficult here to overtake. And people in front are having trouble, and I was lifting a little bit here to, well, see what was going on. I didn't want to ram into someone who then, well, would spin out, which meant that there were at least 1 or 2 people that did overtake me here. And you can see too wide, almost 2 times in front of me, so I was really careful. And again, have someone on my inside, so need to be quite careful. You can see there's quite a lot of stuff going on in these first couple of laps on these multiplayer races, when the field is kind of close together in terms of pace, which is an amazing thing that LFM does with how the lobbies are set up and, well, how the rating is involved, both skill and safety rating, to deliver as close of racing as possible. Here the situation was also a little bit wild, as the McLaren had some trouble, and, well, I was kind of afraid what was going on there and managed to dive him on the inside, but then this happens. From the inside here you can see I didn't really know what was going on, so I checked the replay afterwards. By the way, nice thing that it exists, it works, hint hint. But yeah, he just seemed to come out of nowhere, so let's actually check his perspective. And I don't know what he was doing. He was braking, then turning in and just throwing his car into the corner, and sadly just managed to clip my backside, which meant that I got spun around. I had to restart the engine, which was shut off, so yeah, really needed some time to get going, which meant that unfortunately I am now the last driver on the field. There is still one other person who is in the pits, but yeah, from the people driving right now, I'm actually in last position, which was quite a shame, I have to say. But as you were able to see, that shouldn't discourage you from just trying to get, well, back into this one. So I was trying, I was just seeing if I could maybe catch back up to, well, the field, at least in the back, and maybe get some positions, because the race isn't over yet. We are about halfway, not quite, and I'm actually slowly catching the guys in front of me and going into bus stop here. You can hear the call out, yellow flag, and that's also a nice thing. You know something has gone on, and there's the Lambo that did spin out apparently. So yeah, you know, at least if it's called out early enough, a little bit ahead of time, that there's something going on. You can also see on the minimap if cars are spun out or very slow, they are marked in yellow, and that really helps you in, well, knowing what's going on and being ready for something that's happening in the front. I now have, by the way, caught up to the McLaren that did hit me in the back and spun me around. I wasn't aware of this in this situation, so yeah, maybe good that I wasn't, because I notice here that I'm a little bit faster on the straight, so I decide to, well, go on the inside. I didn't really mean to dive him here. I was braking kind of early, but it seemed like he was a little bit afraid or didn't want another incident as well. So it seemed like he did brake quite a lot and was kind of, well, still, even with me braking quite early and quite a lot, still quite easy to overtake him here. Which was nice, because that means we are slowly getting some more positions. And positions you're gonna get in these races, even if you don't manage to catch people quite early enough. Well, some people are just gonna make mistakes. And you could see there another McLaren did spin out, same place, basically exit of bus stop, and well, that meant for me another position, and we are already up to P18, and well, let's see what else we can do. And you can see here we are up to P16. That might be due to someone disconnecting as well. I didn't really see that I did overtake someone on track here, so maybe one that I didn't show, but yeah, sometimes also happens. So yeah, it's just the way it is. Sometimes you get positions and you don't really know why. By the way, you will be able to see, because we are at the end of this race, tire degradation is a thing here, and I am struggling a little bit on some corners. And I'm gonna show you the rest of this race. There is still one more lap to go, as the leader is now on the final lap. We will have a little bit of trouble in terms of, well, just overall grip level, and the tires are gonna slide around a little bit more, which means that I will struggle at least a little bit. And it was kind of difficult to catch up to the rest of the guys in front. I mean, P16, that would already be fine with the incident that we had. And there's another position, BMW, or was it a Mercedes? No, it was a BMW that did spin out there. Well, free position, we'll take it, I guess. And there are still some people kind of in reach, but it's the last lap, so not quite sure if we can do it. But I'm still gonna try to do my best while keeping it as safe as possible. I don't want to make a mistake. For now, this race, apart from the very beginning with ramming into the BMW, I myself haven't made any other mistakes. No off tracks, no spinning, no nothing. So it was kind of a clean race for me, which I didn't expect, because as I said, it's the first multiplayer race for me in a long while on ACC. But I did do kind of well. But that is gonna change at least a little bit. You can see here how much I am sliding around. I maybe should have increased traction control a bit. That's something, as I said, you can do in this game. You can do that on the fly. I've mapped that to my wheel, and well, it's something that I maybe should have done, because I'm really struggling and going off track a little bit here, but no time gains, so I don't get any warning for that. And the Audi in front here makes a big mistake, rams into the wall, and I decide to, well, go for his outside. But, well, we collide. And in the moment I was like, not quite sure if that was my fault. And if we take a look here, it might be. Because I really take quite a narrow line. I think he also could have gone closer to the apex. So, yeah, don't quite know. I then get going again, and you shouldn't do what I just did. Nothing really to see from that perspective, but if you take a look from the outside here, one guy misses me, a second guy has to avoid. Don't rejoin the track in the manner that I did. Look at this. It's ridiculous. I was really not thinking quite straight, but I just decided to go because I was a little frustrated that I had this collision in the second to last corner, and now lost a couple of positions because of that. But it happens. I maybe even shouldn't have gone for the attack on the Audi, should have just let him be, but well, I did, and it happened. So well, it's something that happens, that only can be improved with experience, in my opinion. But nevertheless, for my first race on multiplayer in ACC, this was quite a good one, and I really enjoyed this one. The only thing that was frustrating was the incident with the McLaren ramming me from behind. That really was quite a bummer, but I managed to get a couple of positions back, quite a few actually, from where I was. So overall, I was happy. Just a little bit too much in terms of incidents, because that's something that affects your safety rating as well. If you have too many contacts in a race, that accumulates and your safety rating will drop. So wasn't really happy about that, but overall from my driving, my consistency, it was kind of good. So I think I will continue to do this. These short races on LFM are quite fun. Might also do some other stuff like the longer races with pit stops, or maybe jump into the GT4s or the M2s, which is also another category we could do. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see something specific. I can maybe then make that happen. But yeah, this race was quite fun. And by the way, on LFM, the platform that I'm racing on, there are new races every week. So it's the whole week, or for you it's last week was Watkins Glen on this category. Next week is gonna be Brands Hatch, which I'm particularly excited about because that's one of the tracks that I'm really missing in Forza Motorsport. So we'll probably jump on that when it's available, and we'll try to have a good race there, and maybe not have that many incidents. But yeah, we'll see. I hope you will join me. Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of content, and yeah, just if you have any suggestions on what I can improve or what you would like to see. As I said before, I would really love to hear from you. But that's it from me for now. If you unsubscribe to the channel, feel free to do so. That would really help me out, and leave a like on the video. That also helps the algorithm of YouTube to recommend this to more people. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I've been HD Racing, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.